It's basically taken from the perspective of you as a ghost watching this family, and I thought the cinematography really brings that to life. What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is OCD Movie Reviews. My name is Soderbergh, and today I'm going to review the latest, I would say, horror film. Not really, it's more of a family drama film with horror aspects in it. I'm just getting that out of the way right now. Today I'm going to review Presence. This movie is directed by Steven Soderbergh, and this movie is also written by David Koepp, who written Jurassic Park. And this movie stars Lucy Liu, Callina Liang, Chris Sullivan, Eddie Medei, and Wes Mulholland. A family becomes convinced they are not alone after moving into their new home in the suburbs. So, we got the latest experimental horror film, sort of. Like I said, this movie really mismarketed itself. But this is an experimental film. This is a film that takes from perspective of the ghost that's haunting the house, with the first-person perspective cinematography. And I gotta say, I really do like this concept. I think this concept is very original, very different, and that's why I was looking forward to this film. I really do like this concept, and I want to see how this concept brings upon. It's sort of like last year's In a Violent Nature, where it takes from perspective of the serial killer walking. This time it's now a ghost. I love experimental concepts. I love concepts like this, so I was looking forward to this movie. And I gotta say, guys, I am honestly very mixed by Presence. Now, it's not as mixed as The Monkey was that I last reviewed, where I was so disappointed. This movie had some good things, which I'm totally okay with. But definitely this movie is very mixed, and I'll explain why in this review. Let's talk about what I loved about the film, and absolutely what I loved about this film is absolutely the experimental concept alone. I thought the cinematography of this film, taken from the perspective of the ghost walking around stalking this family, I thought the cinematography is really well done in this film. The movie looks beautiful. It's a beautiful looking movie. It's basically taken from the perspective of you as a ghost watching this family, and I thought the cinematography really brings that to life. And I would say two of the performances really stood out for me. One of them is actually, surprisingly, Chris Sullivan, who plays the father of this family that tries to keep this broken family together. And I thought he does a brilliant performance in this film. Really surprisingly, there are parts of this film where I really feel for his character. And I thought Chris Sullivan does a really excellent performance here. But technically the main-ish character of the film is the daughter in the film, played by Callina Liang, and I thought she does a really good job in this film because she definitely has the most traumatic backstory out of all the members of the family, and you really feel for her throughout the film, and she's the one that kind of feels more of the presence of the ghost in the house than the rest of the family, and I thought she does a really excellent job in this film. But I would say one of my biggest problems when it comes to Presence is definitely its pacing. Now, there are times in Presence where I'm like, there is a good movie somewhere. The movie starts to get going, and then it gets boring. Then it gets good, then it gets boring. The movie doesn't really know what to do with itself. Because most of this movie, nothing really happens. Yes, there are some family drama in this film. There's a lot of things happening when it comes to this family and this ghost. But there are times where the concept gets going and it just completely lost it. Not to say this whole movie is boring. There are some good moments in this film. There are moments that I enjoyed about Presence. But this movie definitely has a mix of a good movie and also a boring movie. It definitely has that mixture here. Now let's talk about the genre itself in this movie, because the trailers, holy shit. Whoever edits the trailers for Presence, seriously, get fired, because this movie really mismarketed itself. It is not a horror film. I'm just gonna warn you guys now. It is not a horror film. I said that at the start of the review, I'm saying it again. It is not a horror film. This film is mostly a family drama film with a ghost basically watching them. There's not a bit in this movie that is scary whatsoever. It's more of a family drama film. So do not read these reviews saying, oh, this is one of the scariest movies of the year. Whoever made up these reviews, seriously, it sounds all made up, because I feel like there's a multiverse out there of this movie being scary, because this is not a scary movie. It's a family drama film. The film definitely mismarketed itself. It's not the film's fault, it's the bloody marketing. Seriously. I feel like they marketed this movie as a horror film for more people to see this film, and that's just not right, honestly. You should just present this film for how it is, and there's going to be some sort of audience going out to see this film, not making it something that's completely not. What about the rest of the performances of the film from Lucy Liu and Eddie McDay? I do not like these characters whatsoever because they're just extremely unlikable in this film. I do think Lucy Liu did a really good performance in this film, but I didn't really care much about her character because she's just a complete bitch in this film. And the son especially. This film, my god. This is one of the most unlikable asshole-ish characters that I've seen this year. I thought he did a good performance playing this asshole, but there are moments in this film where I'm just like, dude, shut the fuck up, or I hope this ghost does something to you in this film. And he has an arc in this film, but I just did not care because of his unlikability in this film. So basically, half of the family I like, half of the family I did not like, which makes the family dynamic a little bit messy for me overall. And there are even times in this film where you even forgot there's even a ghost in the film. Like, there are times where the cinematography just looks good of two people talking, and you forgot, oh shit, we're supposed to be the ghost. We're supposed to be stalking this family. And I feel like the film forgets itself sometimes when it comes to this experimental concept. But definitely my biggest problem with the film is that this film gets messy. There are times where the film is good, there are times when this film is boring. There are times when this film is good, and then there's a twist at the end, which I'm not going to spoil, which keeps the film going. This film definitely has a certain amount of mixture when it comes to the blending. But I don't hate Presence. I honestly think this is a very cleverly experimental film, but I feel like this film could have been much better than it is. But overall, guys, if you're into like experimental films, I would say give this film a shot. Do not expect this movie to be a horror film. It's not. It's a family drama film with a perspective of a ghost. And I thought the experimental concept is definitely the standout of this film. I thought the performances are really good throughout the most part. I would say Chris Sullivan and Callina, I thought they were the best parts about this movie. I thought the cinematography looks absolutely gorgeous, but this movie definitely has a blend of a good movie somewhere and also a pretty boring movie. It definitely has that mixture, and I feel like this concept could have been much better if it has much more tension, and really nothing happens much in this film. There are some certain family drama happens in the film, there are some twists, but nothing really mind-blowing in my personal opinion. It's definitely a mess overall, but I do think the experimental concept did save this movie. So I would say still give this film a shot. So I would say for Presence, I would say definitely see this movie at a matinee price. Throughout the most part, I enjoyed this film, but definitely this film has that mixture of a good movie and also a boring movie. But I would say this experimental concept really stands out and kind of distracts me from the negatives in my opinion. So guys, that is my review for Presence. Let me know what you think of this movie in the comments below. Do you like the film, hate this film, or you find this film boring? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on social media links down below. Keep contact with me and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. Notify for my latest movie reviews and other movie related content. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a nice day.